thank you guys for the opportunity. I truly appreciate it. I feel welcome already, you know? I feel like this is the place where I should be. I feel at home. I feel part of DEA. I feel like I've also been part of the program for 12 months. Thank you for making me feel that way. First of all, let me thank the department before I say anything. For giving me the opportunity, a young man like myself, to have this opportunity is truly unbelievable. I'm truly thankful. I think I'm blessed because of that. I'd also like to thank personally Mr. Joshua Mwebia, who saw me speak somewhere and figured I could be the best person to come and speak to you guys. So thank you, Mr. Mwebia, for that. And I would like to say to all of you, congratulations for going through the program. Just give yourselves a hand. I don't have a PowerPoint presentation. This is my weapon of mass destruction. So, bear with me. You know, there are two ways that I believe that we can all face the future. You know, that you can either face the future with apprehension, not sure about what's going to happen, scared about whether opportunities will open up for you, not sure whether you'll get that job that you're looking for, and not sure that things will work out for you in there. Then there's another way of looking at your future or facing it, which is with excitement. Believing that things are going to work out for you, believing that God is going to open a door for you somewhere, that somebody's going to see your CV and call you in. And based on how you approach the future, that will determine where you will end up. I've summed up life to two things. I know there are too many words that have been said, oh, life is this, life is that, but I come up with two words that I feel will sum up what life I feel is. The first thing that I believe governs life is preparation. You know, from the day you were born, life has been preparing you for all the stages in your life. From being an embryo in the belly, to being a little toddler, to crawling. You've been prepared to walk, from there to talking, from there to crèche. From crèche you've been prepared to primary, from primary to high school tertiary, and then at some point now you find yourself in a program and life is preparing you for the next stage in your life. Am I right? Absolutely. So, preparation though, part of it can be very scary. It can be painful. I mean, I remember when I was in primary school, I had to let go of some friends after grade 7. Sorry guys, journeys are different. You go to that school, my mother chose my school, so I don't have a choice in the matter. Then high school, you get there, you make new friends, you get acquainted, you like them, you guys are really close buddies, and after high school, guess what? I gotta see you, man. Peace out, it's not personal. So, it's painful. Part of preparation, part of growing up, part of the whole process of life is painful. And here you find yourself in a situation where you're part of the program, it was nice, and you're like, oh, but why don't they just absorb me? Ish, now I have to go out there in the great big world and compete. And I'm not quite sure if I'm prepared. Right? The other word that I believe sums up life is faith. We believe that behind every action that we take, ultimately we'll be able to receive the awards that we're trying to work towards. That you will get the goals that you're trying to work towards. That you will get that top job. That you will find yourself in a position in life where every single thing that you desire today you have. Faith is the operative word. Behind every single step that you take, you believe that you will have faith. That your faith will help you get to that step. So, in saying that, I'll tell you a little bit about myself so that we can get acquainted. And you can see that I'm just a regular guy, you know? I'm not talking to you from on top of a mountain. So, my name is Ntunindi Nala. I come from a small village in Ranchaville, Limpopo. Here's my brother right here, Him and I come from the same place. So, ever since I was a kid, I wanted to become a speaker. From 10 years old, I remember watching TV with my mother, and a man called Tony Robbins was on TV, and I was fascinated, man. I was just bored into this thing. And I turned around and I asked my mother, man, what is this person doing? She said, son, he's a motivational speaker. All he does is help people achieve their dreams and share strategies on how they can get to their goals. I was like, wow, I love what this man is doing. Could I become it? She's like, you know what, if you're willing to put in the work today, trust me, you can become whatever you desire. I resolved it right there and then that this would be what my life is going to be about. The lady here was talking about a conviction. That at that time, at 11 years old, I had my first conviction about life and what I was going to become. Unfortunately though, you grow up and you get to high school and you're like, hey, I'm trying to be a speaker. Do you have a subject for me? They're like, hey, sir. We only have geography, mathematics, accounting, so I had to park it, you know? Then I found myself going through high school not knowing exactly what I was going to do until I got to matric. And then I'm like, hey man, I'm completing my matric and I still don't know what I'm going to do. So, Bras, what are you going to do? Then he told me, what about you? What? Then I found myself just looking for something. Then a friend told me, listen, let's go and do engineering. We'll go in there, do 2 years, we'll be done with this thing, you'll be back, we'll be making a lot of money. 2 years, that's it. I was like, man, I'm going in. So I went in, right? But somewhere along the process, guess what? It stopped making sense. It started becoming painful, waking up every single day going to this thing that was meaningless. I didn't understand why I was doing it. It was frustrating as hell. And so, I dropped out for a year, thinking, man, I have to figure out my life. What do I want? What do I desire? What was I born to do? What am I in this world for? Where does my heart belong? So I sat home trying to figure out this whole thing for a whole year. Turns out the whole year ended, nothing. So my mother was like, hey, you're not going to sit here for another year, but I've been paying you to go to this college, you're going to go finish up. So I went back to college because I didn't have a choice. Then just after I went to college, Transnet calls me. Hey, today, we saw your CV come through. Hey, all right, think I'm doing good. Society told me, go to school, pick a career, get a job. Hey, looks like I'm winning. So, went to Transnet, got the interview, then I got the job. Didn't know what the job was about, the biggest shock of my life. I don't know. Does anybody here know what a foundry is? You know what a foundry? A foundry. Foundry, not the beer. Not that one. So, here's the most amazing part about my journey in life. I found myself now getting a job. I didn't know what the job was going to be about. Then I remember sitting in the kitchen, looking through the across the street into the workshop, and there was one thing that struck me immediately when I got there was the noise. It was a noisy place. Well, it still is, but you get my point. It was very noisy. And I'm sitting in the kitchen thinking, what do they do in there? I had no idea because when we got employed, they never told us what we were going to do. So here I am sitting in the kitchen listening to this place. Then I'm with a couple of my friends and we're still trying to figure it out. Then a guy walks out of the shop dressed in overalls, heavy protective gear with earplugs and a mask, and he's smelling of steel. He's just so strong. And that place, when I look inside, is dusty. It is loud, and you can feel the heat coming all the way from the workshop into the kitchen that we were sitting in. And I was like, oh my goodness, what the hell am I doing here? I remember one guy sitting in the kitchen with us, picked up the phone, called somebody, I don't know who, told them, listen, bruh, I don't know what they do here, but I will not work here. He quit right there and then. He left. I didn't have the guts myself because I was feeling the butterflies in my stomach. I called my brother. Hey, man, I don't know what they're doing there, but this could be the physical manifestation of hell. It is hot, it is dusty, it is loud. I will not work here. My brother was like, listen to me, man, hold on, hold your horses. Just I'm 3-6 months, you'll be out of there, you'll apply. I was like, yeah, I know, but you got a point. So I started working for the foundry. It's a dusty place. Very dusty. It's very loud. You gotta wear protective equipment all the time. We don't speak about the mouth. You gotta use sign language. So here I am, working in the foundry. Guess what? As a kid, I had big dreams. All of us did. As a kid, I wanted to become somebody who was gonna change the community, who was gonna make a difference in their family, who was gonna become somebody he could be proud of. And I find myself right at the bottom of the pit, looking at life thinking, man, I'm a loser. I lost. Is this all I got to show for all these years that I've been living? This condition right here? Is this it? Then something happened. You know, I believe that right in the middle of our crisis is where we are birthed. Right in the middle of when you believe that the end of your story has just started, a new chapter is beginning. Amen. Just at that moment. Just when I was feeling like a loser, something began to happen inside of me. Somebody once said that you don't get out of life what you want. I believe you guys have notes in front of you. I would advise you to take some of this stuff. I promise you it will change your life. It changed mine. It said, you don't get out of life what you want, you get out of life what you deserve. You don't get out of life what you want, you get out of life what you rightly earn, what you earn. I believe that we can all have everything that we desire. We can have our goals, our dreams, if we're willing to earn it. You know, a lot of people want a lot of things, right? You want the car, you want the house, you want the job, you want the position, you want to find yourself in a high place, doing whatever it is that you desire. You want to fly around the world, perhaps you want to change your community, I don't know. But you want a lot of things, right? Right? Don't sit there and make it seem like you don't. You want a lot of things. So, the question is, do a lot of people get what they want in life? Nope. A lot of people don't get what they want out of life. And that's a shock. We all start off wanting. I want this, I want that. But we all don't get it. Why? Because life does not respond to want. Life responds to deserve. You gotta deserve what you want. Now, what is the difference between somebody who wins in life and somebody who fails? That's a question that's worth going through your mind a little bit. What is the difference between somebody who wins in life, somebody who starts off as a kid with big dreams, thinking that they're going to become 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and end up a failure, and somebody who starts just like that kid but end up becoming successful and achieving all their dreams? What is the difference? What is the difference between these two people? You see, every single thing that I was doing before I ended up in the foundry, every decision that I made, every friend that I had, every action that I took, every subject matter that I engaged myself in, any single thing that I spent most of my time in led me to the foundry. So despite the fact that I wanted a lot of things, ultimately everything that I did was bleeding into the fact that one day I would find myself in the foundry. So the fact that I wanted a lot of things didn't mean anything because my actions did not justify. So I deserved to find myself in the foundry. All my actions took me there. So where we are in life ultimately is all a result of all the actions, all the things that we've been listening to, all the influences we've been having up until today. So you deserve nothing more than what you have today. But there's good news. If you're willing to become, if you're willing to pursue, if you're saying this is not a true reflection of my life, where I am is not a true reflection of my potential. Because that's what I had to do when I found myself in a foundry. I looked at myself and I said, today, I know this is not the true reflection of your abilities, young man. You got yourself here, you're gonna get yourself out. They say to do something you've never done, you must be willing to become someone you've never been. See, a lot of people want a lot of things, but don't want to change for it. You don't want to be disciplined. You don't want to sacrifice your time. You want to play, you want to hang out, you want to chat all day, you want to watch TV all day, and still have the things that you desire. That's not going to happen. So here are two things that I learned once I got to the foundry. We all engage in this thing called the blame game, where we find something or someone to blame when things don't happen our way. I engaged in that game. I had a long list of people that I blamed. All of this. I had all the reasons, bruh, It all looked tight. Except I realized something. I am not there. I am not on that list. The day I realized that, they say that life is 10% what happens to you and 90% how you respond to it. The day I realized that in Tune, you are the reason where you are today and nobody's coming to the rescue. It is your absolute responsibility to get yourself where you are, to be where you desire to be. Was the day I got empowered. And I was sitting with a friend of mine one day at home, and he played me a video of this guy called Eric Thomas. Thomas, and on the video was a guy called Floyd Mayweather. Anybody know Floyd Mayweather in here? Yeah, that's my man. So on the video, Floyd Mayweather is exercising, but behind the video was a guy called Eric Thomas. And he's talking about if you want to be successful as bad as you want to breathe, you got to want this thing like it's your last breath. And I remember the dream of the 11-year-old boy that I once wanted to become. And I was like, my goodness, did life have to take me through all this hell before it got me here while I remembered why I wanted to live? I had a decision to make. Do you accept conditions as they are and accept that you fail? That this is it? Because everybody says, at least 21 span. You're not like other people out there who's still looking for a job. Why not shout? Accept what life is giving you. I was like, no, me. Maybe that's you, but me, I got bigger dreams. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to find what's mine. So whatever it is that I had to do to get to where I am today, I started doing it. I started listening to more motivational tapes. I bought a laptop and I started downloading videos from YouTube. I started reading the books, started going to the seminars. I started changing friends. I started hanging around people who are going somewhere. I started changing my influences, what I listen to on a day-to-day basis. I started changing every single thing that I was part of me before. Because I realized today you cannot possess the things you want to possess if you're still the man that you used to be. So I started working on myself. I started changing my friends. I stopped drinking. I stopped partying. Thank you. One person in here likes the fact that I don't drink and party. Everybody's like, I stopped partying, I stopped drinking, I stopped smoking. I started hanging around, I stopped hanging around with my buddies. I stopped doing every single thing that led me to the foundry. I started planting new seeds in my mind. I started planting a new destination, planting into my GPS into name, this is where you want to be now. And if this is where you want to be into name, this is a distraction, this is a distraction, this is a distraction, this is a distraction. And if you get rid of all these distractions today, I promise you, you will get to your goal. And guess what? I did what I had to do, baby. I prepared myself, I read the books, I practiced all by myself in my mirror every single day. 4 years later, I'm standing right here in front of you. I deserve to be here. I learned that success is not something you pursue, you know. It's something you attract by the person you become. Jim Rohn once said that. You might want to write it down. Success is not something you pursue. It's something that you attract by the person you become. You want to have more? Become more. You want to have extraordinary? Become extraordinary. It's not an easy thing though. A lot of people want to be in your position today. A lot of people wanted to have your position, but they did not because they lacked the discipline. So I want to help you going forward. Now that the ending of a chapter, and we're starting a new one, right? And you're going out in the great big world and you're saying, today, here's a big challenge, my man. I'm going out in the great big world. The statistics are all saying to me, jobs are hard to come by. How do I know that I can secure my spot? That I set myself aside, that somebody will see my CV and give me the opportunity. How do I deserve the things that I want in life? I'm here for you, baby. I'm here for you. I want to share a few things that I believe that if you start employing them in your life, religiously. When I say religiously, I'm not talking about some faith, some religion that you go to church to. No, no, no. Religious just means if you do it over and over and over and over, it becomes a habit in your life. Those things will eventually reap you a harvest, all right? I am a believer, don't get me wrong. So, what are some of these things that I would like to share for you? Before I go in there, let me tell you a story about this guy that I love so much that has helped change my life. His name is Les Brown. Anybody know Les in here? Fantastic. He changed my life. Now, Les talks about his story when he was a kid and he wanted to be on radio. And he didn't have the skills, nor did he have the knowledge. He didn't have the paper, but he had the heart. He had a willing heart. He had a burning desire to become a radio DJ. So he was talking to his mentor at one point. I'm getting a bit dry, I don't know why. Can I borrow a cup and get some water, please? Sorry. Thank you. I'm sorry guys, I'm getting you guys cold now. So Les Brown went to his mentor and told him, listen man, I want to become a radio DJ. What should I do? His mentor told him, prepare yourself. Prepare yourself. So the first thing you need to do on your journey towards discovering or being or identifying whatever it is that you want to do, what you want to have in this life, prepare yourself for it. You know that lady that's put here and start working on your CV, work on this, work on that, work on that. Prepare yourself. So Les Brown took his way to heart and went home and started preparing himself. Started listening to other radio DJs, started learning how they do stuff, started making sure that every single thing that he needs to do to prepare himself to become a radio DJ, he did it. So, the second step, the mentor told him, go to the place where you feel you want to work there. So here's the thing to you. You gotta identify where you want to work. You know, I know you're sending out too many CVs and you say, hopefully this one will find me. Maybe this one will find me. Maybe this one will find me. I know you're trying to get as many ones as you can. But I would advise you to identify a place and set it within your heart that this is where I'm going to work. Identify it. Identify it and say, this is where I'm going to be. And once you do that, once Les did that, he's going to that radio station. He knocked on the door and spoke to the manager, hey, Mr. Barba, how are you doing? He's like, hey, young man, how are you doing? Great. Listen, I want to be a radio DJ on your station. Is that possible? The manager's like, hey, do you have some education? Not really. Do you have some experience? Not really. What do you have? Nothing? Don't know. But I want to work here. So the man is like, listen, you don't have experience, you don't have education, why would I employ you? Get out of here, man. So he went back, spoke to his mentor, he's like, hey, I went there, they chased me away, what should I do now? He's like, listen, go back. He went back, knocked on the same manager's door, he's like, hey, Mr. Barabo, how you doing? The man is like, didn't I just see you yesterday? He's like, yes, you did. I just came to check if maybe today there's a job. The man is like, no, there's no jobs. Get out of here, man. Don't come back. He came back the next day. Hey, Mr. Barabo, how are you doing? I just came to see if you have an opening for me, sir. He's like, didn't I just tell you 2 days ago that we don't have openings for you? He's like, I don't know if somebody fell sick or died, so I just came to check. Maybe I have an opportunity for you. He's like, nobody fell sick or died. Get out of here, don't come back. He went to his mentor, he's like, man, I went there 3 times, the man still chased me away. He's like, listen, some people are so negative, and you'll have to go 4 or 5 times until they say yes. Go back! Went back the next time, he's like, hi, Mr. Buttermore, how you doing? The man is like, what the hell is wrong with this boy? He's like, go get me some coffee. He was like, yes, sir. Just like that, the young man was employed. Huh? I'll take some guarding ability, right? So after some time, he started going to the control room, checking out how they do the radio DJ stuff, how they press the button, how they play the songs, how they arrange everything. He started obsessing and paying all his time in there. All this time, he's where he needs to be. He was where he needed to be, not somewhere in the lobby chatting some people just because he's in the place. He was where he needed to be to possess what he wanted. And after some time, a stroke of luck happened. Les Brown found himself in a situation where one of the radio DJs was getting drunk on the air, and the general manager calls to the booth, and he says to him, listen, Les, is that you? Yes, it is me, sir. Listen, that DJ in there is getting drunk. He's like, I know. Listen, he cannot finish his show, okay? So just get him out of the way. Is there any other DJs that you can call that can come in there? He's like, sir, let me check, I'll call you back. He hung up his phone, he's just chill for a minute. He's like, no, he's thinking, I'm not crazy. I'm not gonna call nobody. I know when it's my opportunity. So this is it. And he called him back, he's like, sir, I'm sorry, but I couldn't find anybody. It's like, okay, do you know how to work the control, young man? He's like, yes, I do. Okay, good. Now go in there and don't say anything, okay? That's what's like, what the hell? As soon as he hung up, he called his mother and his girlfriend. He's like, let's see, turn the radio on, man. Now, there's a quote, I love it. It says, if opportunity does not knock, you build the door. There's too many young people who are sitting at home year in, year out, applying and nobody's responding. And guess what? You guys, DDG just mentioned it here, right? Did I get it right? DDG? Voila. DDG mentioned it, it's frustrating, right? You guys know what it's like when you're looking for a job and nobody's responding, right? It's frustrating. You start to lose hope. You start to get negative and cynical. You start to feel like, why God, I did every single thing that you said I should do. Now what more should I do? I'm frustrated, I'm getting angry, and you're losing hope. The first 3 months of getting out of a job, out of school, or maybe right now out of this program will be fine. But after a year, if you don't get something, you'll be discouraged. Am I right? So how do you set yourself apart? How are you going to make sure that you are different from all the other young people out there who are looking for the same opportunity that you're looking for? Who are perhaps more hungrier than you, who are willing to do more than what you're willing to do. When I first became a speaker, I knew that nobody's going to come at home and find me speaking and say, hey, we heard that you're a speaker, young man. Your mirror told us. Because I've been practicing in my mirror. Sorry. I got to practice somewhere. So, nobody's going to come and find you. There's so many other thousands and thousands of young people that did the same thing that you did. So how are you going to set yourself apart? Today, because you know that you want to become a speaker, nobody's a speaker at home. Prepare yourself. So you know what I started doing? I started practicing at home by myself. And when I knew that I was ready, like a seed pushing through the soil, I went home and I started knocking on doors. And I was like, listen here, principal, I might have never spoken before, but you are going to give me an opportunity to speak because this thing is burning me inside. My hunger is driving me. I cannot sit at home and pray for somebody to give me an opportunity. I went out there, baby, and I knocked on doors. I was afraid. I was scared. I had doubts. I had fears. I thought about what people were going to say because people know me as the guy that used to drink. Now I'm the guy who's now going to talk to young kids at school trying to teach them motivation. Who the hell am I? We know you, bro. We know you're the guy that used to drink. You know you're the guy we used to party with. Who do you think you are? I had to go through all of that. Psychologically, it was affecting me, right? But a lot of people miss opportunities in life because it is dressed in overalls and looks like work. You get that? Yes. You should not miss opportunities because listen, where your work is, where your job is, that's where you're gonna have to work hard. That's what you need to focus on. So I knew that I was not just going to be given an opportunity. I went out there and I created one. So here's my task to you. Identify a place that you want to work in and go and nag them. I know that's unorthodox, but if you want to be thinking creatively like that lady was saying, that's what perhaps you need to start doing. Because let me tell you something. If I come to your house, right, and I knock on your door, and 5 minutes later I'm still knocking. 10 minutes later I'm still knocking. You may try to ignore me, but at some point you're going to say, hey, who is this? So I'm saying, stop waiting for opportunities to come to you. Stop waiting for somebody to identify you. Go out there and make opportunities for yourself. Go out there and make sure that you create those opportunities for yourself. Because waiting, you'll be waiting a long time. Asked a lot of people who gave up. You know, I was talking to my mentor the other day. He was telling me about how his workplace, they had one opening, just one opening. Over 130-something people applied. And out of those 130-something people, more than 70 of them had master's degree. All unemployed. All waiting. Don't do that. Don't do that. Create opportunities for yourself. You hear me? Yeah. Create opportunities for yourself. Identify a place that you want to be in and go and create an opportunity for yourself. I gotta consult my weapon of mass and destruction. Here's the second thing that I want to share with you. You gotta be persistent. You see how Les went there over and over and over and over? That's what you will have to master for yourself. You gotta be persistent. You know, I don't know what happens to us the older we get. Remember when you were a kid and you tried to walk and you fell? Or you tried to walk, you don't lie. Or you tried to walk, or you tried to talk, and the words could not come out. Remember that time? Let me ask you a question. How many chances would you give a child to walk before you say this child cannot walk? Before you're like, ah, I'm not going to tell my, you know, give me man. How many chances? How many chances would you give a child to talk before you're like, nah, just don't try anymore. You can't talk. Shut up. Listen, you can't talk. How many chances would you give a child to do that? But let me ask you a question. That when you become an adult and opportunities are no longer coming by, how many of you are quick to give up? How many of you are quick to do that? They say, oh man, there are no opportunities coming through for me. Nobody's hiring out there. There's no opportunity. You start going to that negative place where you start complaining and you stop being resilient. So I knew that I was not just going to become an effective speaker in the beginning of my life. I knew that it was going to take some effort, some time and some persistence. So when the opportunity for me to speak did not come, I went back and created more. In fact, I started building a relationship with all the schools within my district. Every single high school that I knew, I went back and knocked on their door and told them, I am a speaker. You might not know it, but I'm going to show you. I started knocking on every door that I could find, and wherever they gave me an opportunity to speak, I could speak. I registered an organization because I wanted to be able to influence other young people to bring them into the organization. It's called TMF. You can check it out on my Facebook page. So the reason I did that was because I wanted to give other young people who find themselves in the same shoes without an opportunity, giving them an opportunity to go out there and speak, mentor them, teach them. So I was persistent in understanding that today, you're not just going to be a successful speaker after a year, or after 2 months, or after 2 years, or after 3 years. Even now, I'm still creating more opportunities for myself. In fact, we went out there and partnered with these guys called Manais, and now we go through all these colleges in the cities giving motivational talks for free. I am persistent in what I want, and I will not give up until I get it. Then give me a hand, come on. You see, I've learned that you can only have 2 things in life. You know? That's it. You can only have 2 things in life. Reasons or results. That's it. Nothing else. You know, you can have the oh man, I come from a family where you know, things are not looking good at home. I come from this kind of environment, and man, opportunities are just not coming by, and I've been applying, and things are... Listen, bro. You can only have reasons. But listen, reasons don't feed me. Reasons don't put food on the table. Reasons don't help the family get out of the situation that they find themselves in. Reasons won't help you achieve your dreams. So my advice to you is quit finding a list of all these things that you're going to blame if things don't go out well. The government is not giving us opportunity. What is this? This is an opportunity. They did their part. Now it's up to you to do the rest. So stop finding all sort of excuses about why you're going to fail. In fact, you don't plan on failure. You're like, just in case I don't make it, hey, I have a nice long list of reasons here. Just in case somebody stops me and say, hey, why aren't you working? I'll be like, you see? Legit, Papa, legit. I got my reasons. What about you? Alright? So you can only have 2 things in life, guys, reasons or results. But notice something, reasons don't count. They just don't count. So you don't have a choice but to produce results. You don't have a choice. The third thing I want to tell you is you gotta have courage. For you, come here, we have a nice job for you. They're not gonna do that. Well, you might be lucky, yes, but they probably would say no. Right? What are the chances that they won't say no? They'll probably say no, right? But guess what? You might just have to come back again next time to show them how serious you are. And if they say no again, don't take it personally. Some people think it is their responsibility to stop you from achieving your dreams. Don't worry about it. Did I say that again? Some people think that it is their responsibility in life to stop you from achieving your dreams. But don't let them stop you. Let the hunger inside of you burn. Talk like that. No way, I don't talk like that. Okay, y'all talk like that. Oh, I'm trying to You know, a son was talking to his father at some point, and he said to him, Dad, Can a man still be courageous if he's afraid? Can a man still be brave if he's afraid? He's like, son, the only time a man can be courageous is if there's fear involved. You know, I remember when my first opportunity to speak came. I went to that high school and I said, I can speak. And they said, okay, you can speak. 50 students back at our hall. Good, man, you. I've never done this before. What am I doing here? But you know what I did to supplement the situation? I bought sweets and snacks. Just in case my speech is boring, then hey, I have nice sweets and snacks here that I can speak. Hey, man, I had to make a plan. You know what I mean? I was creative. The lady said you must be creative. So, the opportunity for me to speak came. And it was a moment for me to test myself whether in Tunang, are you a bluff? Thinking that you can be a speaker, or are you really born to do this? Do you have the guts and stamina? So I stood there, and I had my diary in my hands because I had 1,000 notes. I didn't know where I was going to start. I was like, but I'm going to start somewhere. So I had my notes in my hands, in the back of my hands, and I was speaking like this. It was just not going to happen, man. It was just not going to happen. That's not how you give a presentation. So I felt the fear begin to come over me. The fear telling me today, you are nobody. What makes you think you deserve this opportunity over somebody else? What makes you think you have what it takes to talk to these kids? What have you achieved in your own life that gives you the ability or perhaps the authority to stand in front of these kids and tell them what you're about to tell them? But I remember a book that I once read by Susan Jeffers. It's called Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway. I recommend that you go buy that book. It's called Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway. And in that book somewhere it says that, listen to me, fear is a part of life. It's not going to go anywhere. So the best way you should do in order to deal with the situation is confront the fear. And I pulled my hand right in front of me, man. And it was shaky. It was shaky, me, brah. I had no, it's like my mind was like, hey, I'm going to shut up. But my head was like, I'm not with you right now. I'm on another mission because adrenaline was just hitting me, you know what I mean? Because when adrenaline hits you, your body is literally separated from your head. Literally. So my body was just doing what it wanted to do, reacting to the thoughts that I was giving it. And I tried to grab it with my other hand and both hands were shaking. But you know something happened? Soon after I confronted my fear, it vanished. It disappeared. It went away. You see, I learned something about fear. And the reason they say we need to be courageous is this. Behind your fears is somebody you want to be. You know that? Thank you. Give me a hand. She keeps giving me a hand. Yeah. So, the challenge to you is this. Yes, you have to go out there. Yes, you're going to knock on doors. Yes, you're going to be rejected, but you're not going to take it personally. And you're going to keep going there until they see that this is your mission in life and you will devote yourself to it or die. Get rich or die. That's a commitment. That's saying whatever I need to do legally, of course. Whatever I need to do to achieve my dreams, I will do it or what? Do you know what I was willing to do to become the man that I have become today? I was willing to change, my friends, man. They were like, we get on my bed there. I was like, hey, Debbie Joey. They were like, who do you think you are? I was like, hey, I'm trying to build a new me, the one that I know inside of me I've always wanted to be before I let your stupid ass talk in my head. Because you know what, let's be honest, guys. The people who speak to us in our heads are the ones that are changing our perception of our lives. Yes. And so your friends will influence you to think that you are this. And the more, you know what we call this thing called repetition is the best way to condition somebody. Yeah. What you listen to most of the time is what conditions you. So I was willing to cut off that rap music that I used to listen to. Because it was painting images in my head that had nothing to do with my destiny. I was willing to cut off all those friends that I've accumulated all throughout the years because I had attached myself so much to them that I didn't even think I was an individual outside of them. that to do something you've never done, you must be someone you've never been. I said that. And that's literal. That's not just a phrase. That's just not just some quote, some nice words. So, you gotta have courage to pursue your dreams, and courage forces you to change. You see, most people just wanna have their dreams, but they don't wanna change.